Hi guys, for today's video, I'm gonna share with you 3 of my favorite healthy dessert recipes. So I have such a sweet tooth, but I do try to eat healthy. So it's really important to me that I find healthy alternatives, better ingredients in dessert, so I can still enjoy dessert, but I don't have to feel that bad because the ingredients are a lot better. So it does take some trial and error with recipes for healthy desserts. I have definitely tried some recipes that I would not do again, and I have found some that I really love. So in today's video, I'm gonna share with you guys 3 of my favorites, show you how to make them, what they look like when they're done, and just give you some healthy treat options and recipes. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe. I post new videos every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can also hit the notification bell and you will get notified every time I upload a new video. If you are not following along on my Instagram, it's Freeby_. I would love to have you guys there. With that being said, let's jump into the first recipe. So the first recipe is almond flour chocolate chip cookies. These are my favorite. These are absolutely delicious. I was blown away with how good these are, because a lot of times almond flour desserts can be really crumbly and dry. These are dense and chewy and delicious. I made a couple of tweaks to the recipe, which is totally fine, but I will let you know what they had in the original recipe, and I will leave all the recipes down below in the description box. I first set our oven to 350 degrees. It takes a while to heat up, so I wanted to get that going, and then I just microwaved the 2 tablespoons of butter because it was not quite room temperature. But you're gonna go in and put 2 tablespoons of butter. You're gonna go ahead and add 1 egg. Then I'm gonna add in 1/4 cup of all natural peanut butter. The recipe actually calls for almond butter. I don't really like almond butter, so I just use this Justin's peanut butter. It's a natural peanut butter. I know that peanut butter is not that great for you, but I just don't love almond butter. So I'm gonna go ahead and do peanut butter. It's 1/4 cup that goes right into the blender, or the mixer. Then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of sugar. So this recipe calls for coconut sugar, but I actually just use organic cane sugar. You can use coconut sugar, you can use whatever. I personally just like organic cane sugar the best, but it's totally up to you. So I've just tweaked this recipe just slightly. Those are the only 2 things I changed. But again, you can take recipes and really make them your own. So I did that, and then we're gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. It's a super easy recipe, which is what I love. I love doing desserts that don't take a lot of time, but are delicious. So then we're gonna go ahead and just mix this up before we add in the other ingredients. We're gonna add in 1/2 teaspoon of pure baking soda. We're gonna sprinkle that in evenly over the top, and then we're gonna go in with 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I use pink Himalayan salt. It's totally up to you, whatever you wanna use. We're gonna go in with our 2 cups of almond flour. Just kind of sprinkle it in, and I like to mix as I sprinkle it in. So we'll just mix this until it's all well combined. So this should smell like the best cookies you've ever made in your life. So delicious. It's like vanilla-y and peanut buttery and sugar. Oh, it's so good. You're supposed to put 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. I just kind of sprinkle it and eyeball it, but you can definitely measure it. I kind of just sprinkle them in there. And then you want to fold these into your batter or your dough. You don't want to do this while the mixer is going. You just want to kind of fold it in with a little spatula like this or whatever you have. These are so good, you guys. I can't even explain how delicious these are. So then what you can do is, they're supposed to be about 2 tablespoons per cookie. You can measure it out, you can do it, just eyeball it, whatever you want to do. I'm gonna wash my hands just so they're nice and clean. So I'm actually gonna take a tablespoon. You don't have to be this exact at all, but I like to do this because then I know that the cookies are gonna cook at the same, like it's gonna cook all the way through the same. Something that I love about these is how moist and like gooey they are, because, sorry, a lot of people don't like the word moist, but normally, like I said, with almond flour, they can be so crumbly and dry. I actually made cookies one time with almond flour, and when I tell you, they actually turned to dust when I took them out of the oven. Like, they just poof into dust. So I wanted to find a recipe that actually works, and that's one thing that I love about these 3 recipes, is that I am sure that they taste good, and this is definitely my favorite one. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this, and then we will pop them in the oven. Before you pop these in the oven, you want to go ahead and just flatten them a little bit with a fork. So our oven is ready, so that's perfect timing. All right, so you just want to flatten these with a fork. You want to make sure that they've got enough room on the cookie sheet, a couple inches between them. And then this step is optional. You can take a little bit of your pink Himalayan salt and just kind of sprinkle it over the top if you like that sort of thing. I do. So I'm just gonna go, you just wanna do a tiny bit. You don't wanna over salt your cookies, but I love to do that. We're gonna pop these in the oven at 350 for 10 to 12 minutes. And then when they come out, they're gonna be kind of like crispy on the top and the sides, and then the middle feel kind of soft still, like they're a little undercooked, but they're not undercooked. They just need to set. So then you're gonna leave them on the rack for 5 minutes and then transfer them to a cooling rack and just let them cool and then enjoy. So we're gonna pop these babies in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. I love how quick they cook because I don't like to wait after I make dessert. That we're gonna be making is actually my husband Ben's favorite recipe. This is a lemon blueberry Greek yogurt bread. It's so delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to make this. I love to kind of have variations. So we have the peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, and now we've got more fruity things. So this is also gonna be cooking at 350 degrees. So I've just got the oven still preheated to that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with a separate bowl, and we're gonna put the dry ingredients. I'm starting off with 1.5 cups of regular flour. Also, sorry if you hear stuff in the background, Finley is playing, but you can go in with almond flour, coconut flour, anything that suits your dietary needs, but for this one, I'm just doing regular old flour. So I'm gonna put that in. Then I'm gonna go in with 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Again, I'm using the pink Himalayan salt. And I'm just gonna whisk this together with a fork and set this to the side. So now we're moving on to our wet ingredients in the mixer. So what we're gonna add is we're gonna have 1/3 of a cup of Greek yogurt, plain, non-fat or whatever you want, but plain Greek yogurt for this one. We're gonna add 1/3 cup of melted coconut oil. Then we're gonna do 1/3 cup of raw organic honey, or you can do sugar. So you can choose what you would like to do. I personally like to do honey, just because it's got some good health benefits along with being really nice and sweet. I'm gonna add 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and then to finish it off, we're gonna be using the zest and juice of 1 full lemon. So I just went in and zested and juiced the lemon beforehand, and you are gonna need an additional lemon for the last step. But I'm gonna go ahead and add this in as well at this time. So then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna blend this up, and then after this is fully blended, we're gonna go ahead and add the dry ingredients into the wet mixture. mixed together, we have the last step. So what you're gonna do is take 1 cup of fresh or frozen blueberries. I just used fresh blueberries. I soaked them in a fruit and veggie soak and then rinsed them really, really well. And now I'm just gonna put those into a separate bowl. I'm gonna take 1 teaspoon of cornstarch. So we're gonna take that and we're going to put that over the blueberries. And then we're gonna take just about a teaspoon of lemon juice. So that's about half a lemon. And we're gonna put that in this bowl as well. We're just gonna toss the blueberries into this mixture and get it all over all of the blueberries. I'm gonna pour these in and then I'm just gonna fold them gently into the batter. So last thing you gotta do is just pour them in. I have prepped this with, you just wanna grease it and flour it. And then I'm just gonna put all of this delicious lemon blueberry batter into here. Looks so stinking good and it smells delicious. Make sure it's nice and even just so it cooks evenly. And then this one is gonna bake for 50 minutes on 350. So this one takes quite a bit longer, but it is so worth it. It is absolutely delicious. Perfect for like a snack with coffee. I've had this with breakfast because it is a healthier option. It's so, so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop this in the oven for 50 minutes. Our last recipe, and these are chocolate peanut butter oatmeal bars. They are no bake bars. So they're super quick and easy and so delicious. So what we're gonna do is just take some type of medium-sized saucepan or pot. And we're gonna start with 1 cup of creamy peanut butter. So I'm gonna put that right in. I ran out of the Justin's one, so I just used whatever other like natural peanut butter that we have. Whatever you have is totally fine. So you're gonna go ahead and put that in. Then you're gonna add 1/2 cup of honey to your pot as well. I really love these bars because they're so quick, they last quite a while, and they're such an easy snack. You're gonna go ahead and add 1/2 cup of your milk of choice. This is my homemade almond milk. You can use any milk that you want. I'm just gonna pour it right back into where the honey was. We're gonna add that as well. And then what you're gonna do is we're gonna put this on the stove over medium heat, and you're just gonna let this heat up until it combines. I'm just gonna show you guys on the stove. Now that this is really nice and combined, we're gonna go ahead and add the rest of the ingredients. Add 1.5 teaspoons of this pure vanilla extract. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add just a pinch of salt. This is that pink Himalayan salt. If you guys hear a noise in the background, Finley is playing with a water bottle, so great timing. So then we're gonna mix that in, and then we're gonna do 3 cups of these oats. 2 and 1. That's good. Just gonna get this mixed all in there. Then what we're gonna do is lastly is we're gonna put 1.5 cups of chocolate chips, and we are just gonna stir the chocolate chips in until they are completely melted, and then we will take this off the stove. Right, so when you're all done, this is what it should look like. Nice and melted and chocolatey. I'm gonna take this off the stove, and I'm just gonna put this in a container, like a glass container with parchment paper, and let it cool off for a little bit. And then once it's kind of cooled off, we're gonna put it in the fridge for an hour, and then you can cut it up and it's ready to serve. So I just got this little glass container. It's just a Pyrex little glass container, and some of this unbleached compostable parchment paper. So I'm gonna line it with parchment paper. You can grease it, you can do whatever you want, but I like to just do parchment paper. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and put all this goodness into this container, and you're gonna wanna press it down so that you can get even bars. This is what the bars are looking like right now. They look delicious, they smell delicious. So I'm just gonna let this cool off a little bit for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna pop a top on this or even some aluminum foil, and I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for an hour, and then these will be ready to serve and all of our desserts will be complete. These are our 3 healthy dessert recipes all done. We've got the almond flour, peanut butter, and chocolate chip cookies, which are my personal favorite, and I have a hard time stopping with these guys, but you can see they're like thick and just like that kind of cookie. They're like very satisfying to bite into. They're so delicious. Then we've got the lemon blueberry Greek yogurt bread. This is so good. This is Ben's favorite. And then we've got the no bake chocolate peanut butter oatmeal bars. These are still setting. I'm gonna keep it in the fridge for longer and then cut them up into bars. It's perfect for a snack. You can have it for breakfast. You can have it for dessert. They're so, so good. So these are my 3 favorite healthy dessert recipes. I really love creating healthy alternatives to dessert. These have so much better ingredients. Some are healthier than others, but they're definitely a better option than so many other things that we could choose to eat. So I love having these on hand. That's it, you guys. I will leave the recipes down below in the description box. Please comment below if you guys try these, what you think. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.